Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and we are back for what's bothering us. And boy, is this going to be a good show, people. So stay tuned. Please like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think, especially about this show, which gets fiery at many, many times. But today, we're going to start with Gil Santos, who's a very angry man right now. What's bothering you, Gil?
Well, it's very simple. Watching the Leafs Devils today, and I don't know if you guys watched it, but this was the officiating was horrible. Okay, I know all the Leaf fans are gonna start bumbling and all blah blah blah. That's because you guys are blind because you guys need to win. Because the first goal I saw, I don't know, the goalie went to make the save. He didn't make the save. It went in. I don't. I didn't really see anything. The second goal, I'll agree. The second goal, the guy went around the net. Matt Murray, he didn't even really nudge him. They just made contact and he dove like it was soccer, right? And then, but whatever, that one we can get away with it. And then the third goal, as far as I know, he kicked it towards the front of the net. As soon as it touches someone else and goes in, it's a clean goal, which obviously it went off the Leaf skate and then it went in. So throwing beers on the players and on the ice, good. No, they should have threw hammers at the refs. That ref looked like he was 19 years old. I mean, like the first call, first he said it was a goal, and then he said, "Oh no, sorry, it was no goal." The fans want to kill him. I didn't know what that was going on. The Leafs have a power. They kept icing the puck for 3 minutes. They couldn't get the line off. Matt Murray dislodges the net on purpose, which you see on the replay,
Yep.
and doesn't get a fucking delay a game. So if there wasn't corruption in this game, someone must have had money in this game, guaranteed. I don't see it any other way because the refs kept looking at Matt Murray. I almost felt like he's saying, "I don't know how much I can help you anymore." The Devils did score with 3 minutes left. You know what? Not because I'm a Devils fan, but this game, I wish they tied it and wanted an overtime because that's the way it does. That game, the shots were like 40-17. Matt Murray did play well. Hands to him. They play well, kept them in, obviously. But Devils were all over them. So don't tell me the Leafs are playing amazing because they're not. Okay, your dad's one of them. Was
No, my dad
playing.
doesn't think they're playing well, actually. No,
No,
my
no.
dad,
I just
no.
I just seen
Yeah.
a text. He said, "Oh, they're playing air free." Are you kidding me? That's all I saw was airs. So for your goalie today, you guys would have got 12 in your ass.
Yeah, it was 35-20 the shots for the Devils.
This this officiating this game was horrible, horrible.
So I went back and watched this, and two out of the three were bad calls. The Devils should have got two of the three goals. I agree with Gil. Jose, you didn't see the game, but any thoughts on that?
It was the Mexican refs. They've come to the NHL to screw over Gil and his first it was his Packers, now it's his Devils.
So the
Jose,
Devils, yep.
Jose, I'm pretty reasonable. I'm usually when I see it,
Buddy, I absolutely.
this was disgusting.
I
Disgusting.
I didn't
This was
see anything. I
disgusting.
didn't see the game, so I can't comment. But I believe you. I
It
don't.
was so bad that the fans put the least players back in the dressing room because they're gonna kill them. I thought they were gonna jump the fence and destroy all those
Yeah,
people.
but is it the Leafs players or is it the
No,
refs?
no, it should
Okay,
have been the red.
exactly.
That's what I said. Should have shot was hammers at them.
Yes,
I,
this looked like a robbery.
it looked robbery. It smelled like a robbery. It was horrible. I almost felt like every time I would see the face off, they're whispering in their ears. Like I feel like the rest even tell me I can't help you no more. It's getting too obvious. Like it was horrible. Jose, it was bad, horrible. The other thing that's bothering me, all of a sudden Southern Arabia knows how to score a goal, and Japan knows how to score. All of a sudden, the next thing you know, Japan's gonna be number one ranked in the world or something. You know,
For
and
those who don't know, I picked Saudi Arabia and Japan to make the last group past the group stage. So Gil's a little mad about that.
yeah, but those games are. I guarantee you, if Argentina played Southern Arabia,
Oh, agreed.
the next 20 games they would win 20-0. Same thing with Germany.
Yes, but Argentina took them lightly, right?
Correct. I agree.
Right,
I
right,
agree.
right.
I agree. And that's a lesson learned for
But
everybody.
I'll say this: if you watch that Japan game, the last 45 minutes was all Japan. It wasn't like
Yes.
they got lucky. They took it to Germany the last 45 minutes.
I wonder if the heat is affecting these players. That's a
Maybe,
question.
but
I'm wondering.
apparently there's air conditioning and it's cool in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, there is.
So
If you look at it, well, Canada played very well. I
they
was
did.
very impressed.
Yeah,
They did not stick back,
yeah.
attack. They gave it to Belgium. They went nose to nose. They said, whatever. It is what it
They
is, right?
dominated a lot of that game, in my opinion. Canada had most of the chances.
Belgium won. Yes,
Yeah.
they got the 3 points. But did Belgium actually look like the second best team in the world? Not a chance.
No.
Not a chance. So even Belgium better watch out. If Canada plays like they did today and Croatia plays, I think Canada beats Croatia, and Canada should be Moroccan. So if they play the way they played today, I see Canada with 6 points. To be honest with
Yeah, or at worst 4. At
you,
worst.
worst 4. Yes.
Right. So I think
But,
they got a shot too. Watching the Croatia game, they didn't look too good. They looked
no,
old.
no, yeah.
So
Well, I said that at the beginning too. Like I
right.
feel like Croatia good talent, but I don't think they have the legs anymore. I think they're old. The coach should have got more young guys in that squad.
Yeah. Any comments on that, Jose, before I ask Gil one more question?
That's on my what's bothering
Okay.
me. I was
So
talking about it.
we'll get to you. Gil, before we get to Jose, are you now convinced the Devils are for real?
Yes, guaranteed. Especially
Okay.
like they've been playing like Hughes, Nico Hirsch. I think this is the year where they're gonna establish them as a franchise for the next 10 years. Same thing like they did before. Then these players are gonna leave, retire, and then they're gonna go back to that rebuilding. But I think for the next 10 years, I believe, don't quote me on it, but I'm gonna believe the Devils are. Vanacek looks solid. That goalie,
You like Vanacek? Okay. Yeah.
Vanacek to me is their number one, hands down. That guy's been playing. I mean, he made crazy saves to date as well.
Yeah.
Especially the one on Tavares there at the end. You
Yep.
thought he was gonna score an open net, and that guy just so flexible. He got there. And then the last thing that's bothering me is obviously Green Bay. Um, you know, I'm not even upset that they lost to Tennessee,
It's
but
Tannehill.
it's well, no, it's Rodgers. So
yeah.
They get the ball back. They need to score, and he's just throwing it into the stands. People are open.
Very inaccurate.
He's not even throwing to them. Like I felt like he gave up.
Yeah.
Now they're making it official that he has a broken thumb.
Yeah.
So I think he loses to Philly. Maybe he's gone and they pull Love in. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's frustrating because I'm not used to seeing this. Obviously, Green Bay's always been then always up there, like in the mix. It's very sad to see them not in the mix, but they're still really not out. But obviously, I think they have a long shot here, unless the seventh place team kind of flops.
Yeah. I'm at the point now where I don't even think Adams would have made a difference because they're struggling in Vegas right now with Adams. So I just think that Rodgers is just injured or getting old and he's not as accurate as he was, and that's it. So well, the Packers are 3-7. They don't look too good, but the NFC, the bottom team is 5-5. So amazingly, they're not out of it yet. So
no, they're actually 4-7.
4-7. Okay, 4-7. Yes, because they beat the Cowboys somehow.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how. Okay, so Jose's has to go last, so I'm gonna go next. I'll be quick because I had an okay week this week. I was very happy with my soccer picks. Kyle Dubas, there's something wrong with him. When every single trade you make is for a Sioux Greyhound, there's something wrong with you. Like, if you want to be Suranto, why don't you go to MLSE and just have the name changed? Otherwise, why is every player coming from the Sioux? It's a joke. It's not like they've had success and they're in the playoffs and they win every year. They keep getting these Sioux guys and they don't win. So I don't understand. They got some guy named Timmons because their entire defense is hurt, and he's a Sioux Greyhound. They traded a 6'9" center. What else is new? Trade a big guy for a small defenseman. Whatever. So that's Dubas is just weird. I don't think he's a good GM, but he's weird. To any quarterback named Wilson, I don't want to hear your name anymore. I don't care if it's Zach. I don't care if it's Russell. You stink, both of you. Okay? When Zach Wilson comes out and says, I didn't let the defense down, and they allow 3 points, you deserve to get benched. And they benched him. Thank God Robert Saleh, Jose, Robert Saleh, he knew he lost his locker room after that interview. Even though Saleh tried to back him up, he's like, no, he went to go talk to his locker room and said, I can't keep this guy in. I got to put Mike White in to save him. Okay? So, good move. Zach Wilson should never start another game for that team because the fans will destroy him and the locker room will give up on that guy. So he's done as a Jet. Russell Wilson, they're stuck with him. because they paid him before he played a game for them. So the Broncos are fucked. They're done. He's terrible. You could just see them losing that game last week. They're up 16-13. They gave them an opportunity to pass. You could just see them choking away that game. And within a couple of minutes, it was 22-16 Vegas. Like, they're done, the Broncos. They stink. They can fire the coach all they want, but until Russell Wilson plays good, it doesn't matter who the coach is going to be. So I don't want to hear any more people named Wilson anymore. I mentioned this on the show before. Jimmy G, I got nothing bad to say about you. You threw four picks. You beat up a battered Arizona team. But here's my thing about Jimmy G. You don't throw a pick, we can win the Super Bowl. I don't know why, because we're 14-0 when you don't. Don't make a mistake, we win the Super Bowl. That's it. Simple as that. So as long as you don't bother me, Jimmy, I ain't going to say nothing bad about you. So there's nothing to say there. Now, Rudy Gobert, what is wrong with you? Okay, listen, if I go to a game and I pay $600 for a seat and I want to boo you because you stink and we traded 5 first-round picks for you and Minnesota's a garbage team with or without you, I'm going to boo your ass all I want. And if you don't like it, you can go sit down and stay home and say you have COVID and don't play. Don't tell me what to do. How about you play better? Then I won't boo your ass. It's like the Devils today. The Devils had passionate fans out there. Their team's winning 13 in a row. They're throwing stuff on the ice. They're happy because their team's playing well. But believe me, if they weren't playing well, they'd get booed too. So don't tell the fans what to do. Worry about your own game and your own sorry ass who's overrated and got traded for 5 first-round picks. Okay? And started the whole COVID thing in basketball. All right? And finally, Anthony Malfera, you're lucky you're not on this show. You want to know why you're lucky? Because if you were on this show, I'd be absolutely destroying your Kirk Cousins MVP pick. How do you look last week, Anthony? Huh? Play facing the Dallas Cowboys defense. How do you look? Is he wearing another chain? Is he on the plane celebrating with bubbly? No, he's not, because he's shit. The most fraudulent 8-2 team ever is the Minnesota Vikings. And they're going to lose again to Bill Belichick's defense, okay? If I ever hear Anthony say Kirk Cousins for MVP again, I'm going to show him that game in the Eagles game and say they're a bunch of frauds. Any agreement there, Gil? How bad did he look last week?
Absolutely.
Embarrassing. Just an embarrassment, okay? It's easy to throw the ball up to Justin Jefferson and say you're good. Even in the Buffalo game, he looked like garbage. But he just threw the ball up to Jefferson. The guy's making one-handed catches. And then Josh Allen gave that game away. He still threw 2 picks in the game. So Minnesota's going nowhere because of Kirk Cousins. He's shit. So that's what's bothering me this week. Jose?
Well, I got a couple of things that's bothering me. First of all, your fucking Lionel Messi is garbage. It cost me so much money, and Bob, I bet you it cost large people in the world money. Freaking with Argentina losing to Saudi Arabia.
Oh, that's right. You did put him in a parlay, correct?
Yeah. And
yes.
then second of all, it's why is Alfonso Davies taking penalty shots for Canada?
Great question.
Well,
Great
when
question.
you have Jonathan David, which is a natural born striker, and he's the one who takes the penalty shots in Lille, and he's your best goal scorer, and you have Alfonso Davies taking your penalty shots. Hartman, I'm sorry, you're a good coach. You've been doing well, but today that was a stupid decision.
Really, and it was an awful penalty.
And it cost you the game.
It was a horrible penalty.
And on top of that, the referee in that game, horrible. There was a couple more penalties that he should have called against Belgium. The one on Larea when he gets stepped on. There's another one that they called offside, which the Belgian players, the one who kicks the ball back to Buchanan, and then Buchanan gets fouled, and they call it offside, which is bullshit. So that's another one. And what else is bothering me is I'm like, it's not bothering me, but I'm liking this World Cup. A lot of upsets are happening. I like the Japan scored today against Germany. It proves that Japan is an underrated team. They first half they played like shit, but then in the second half it was like a brand new team. You guys were talking about Canada maybe qualifying. I don't know if they're gonna. It's one of these games. The first game, now people are gonna see how they play. Second game's already gonna be different. I don't see Argentina losing any more games in the group. Like they screwed up this game. I don't see them losing any more games. So that's whatever's bothered me. And then also is that You still talk shit about Jimmy G after he threw 4 touchdowns.
Oh no! I'm not saying nothing bad about Jimmy G.
Oh,
What I
okay.
said was when he doesn't turn it over, we can win the Super Bowl. That's a fact.
100%. That's every quarterback in the NFL. When you throw no picks, you have a chance of winning the game, and especially with that defense. Hands down, that defense is amazing.
The question
when you
is,
shut down 3 teams
yeah,
in the second half, which that okay, Arizona has a lot of injuries, but like you shut down the Chargers, and then the other week before you shut down another. I don't even know who they played, but whatever. It's like you gotta give them props,
yeah,
and with a lot of injuries that they still have, Bill Armstead's coming back soon. Kinlaw's gonna come back soon. So, but
I
they're getting tough now. The schedule is gonna get tougher, and then the
yeah,
next week we're gonna see how good they are because
yeah.
they
I
play
talked
the
right.
Miami and the Bucks coming up. So
Yeah,
let's see how really good they are.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
what else has bothered me this week? I'm not gonna be able to make our first game of the playoffs. I'm not gonna be
Wow.
here. So, Coach Bombay, lead the team. You better fucking do your job, or else you get fired. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I talked to Jose on the phone about this before the show. I'm not judging anything on the 49ers until they face Miami and Tampa Bay. When they face Miami and Tampa Bay back to back, I will know what the 49ers are. They're a 6-4 team right now that looks good because they're beating up on weaker opposition. But when they play those two teams, I will know where they stand. Because I think Miami and Tampa Bay are the two of the better teams in each conference. And so I'll know where they stand then. Dallas sure sent out a statement last week. That's for sure. So they're looking like a team that could make it to the conference final. Although they lost to Gil's Packers. But yeah, that's where I stand with the 49ers. I felt bad for Canada. They gave a really big effort, and I do agree with Jose. Often after the first game, there's a letdown because a team gets to see you play, and then you can't bring that effort back to what it was. For all the Messi haters out there, I will say this: the next 2 games, we're gonna find out all we need to know about Lionel Messi. This is his last World Cup, and he's the captain. He needs to lead his team past Mexico and Poland. And from what I saw today, there's no reason why that team can't do that. If they don't, then I will have more to say about Messi next week. They had 3 goals that were offside by inches. And when I say inches, I mean artificial intelligent inches. That game could have been 4-0. So as much as they had the bad 5 minutes and didn't play great, they could have been up 4-0 at one point. Spain won 7-0 today over Costa Rica. So I don't think Argentina's done, and I don't think Mexico and Poland will beat them. But believe me, if they choke against those 2 teams, I'll have a lot more to say about Messi next week. Tomorrow we have Portugal against Ghana, and we will be doing a show after that, reviewing Canada and Portugal. We'll talk more about that then. Portugal plays Ghana. Any comments about Portugal Ghana before we go?
It's gonna be a tough game, and the first games are always tough. But it depends. I just got to see how the Portuguese coach is going to line up. If he starts playing with this defensive midfielder a game against Ghana, then it's going to be a joke. It's going to be a shit show. I don't think a game like Ghana, you need to play with the defensive midfielder. But I think Portugal should. I'm not going to say blow up, but they should get a win. Start the World Cup off on the right side, on the right foot. But it's gonna be tough. It's not gonna be easy. And Ghana is one of those African teams that those guys can counterattack you, score like a goal off a corner kick and stuff, and then it's gonna be tough for you to. Then they're gonna shut down, and then it's gonna be tough for you to score. So the key is to score that first goal always, right? But we'll see how it goes.
Gil, any comments about Portugal Ghana?
Yeah, well, Jose, I don't think we learned the key to scoring the first goal. It doesn't really matter because that happened with Argentina and Germany. They both scored the first goal, and they just got to play consistent.
Australia went up 1-0 on France too. So yeah.
But for Portugal tomorrow, I think they got to be very careful on the counterattack because Portugal is going to be a tactical team, and Ghana is going to be a quick run and gun team. They're gonna look for through balls and try to outrun the Portugal defenders. And Portugal is gonna play their tactical strategy, pass the ball around, move the ball around till the guy gets open. So it's gonna be a chess match. That's what it's gonna be. Because Portugal's coach and Jose, we know Portugal's coach very well. I agree with you, but you know very well he always puts that defensive midfielder no matter who he plays against.
So that's going to happen again for sure.
That's gonna happen. I
I
almost
don't.
guarantee.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Not the game against Ghana. I don't think he's gonna put William Carvalho or anything.
Okay,
I don't think
so Andrew, if you see William Carvalho tomorrow, you're already gonna know that's what.
Well, I think they should attack, but what Gil says usually is what happens with that coach.
I've seen him play Liechtenstein, and he uses a defensive midfield, so it's
Yeah.
not gonna change, Jose. I don't
Yeah.
really think it's gonna change.
Yeah, we'll see. If they're going to use Ronaldo up front, then they may want to have a more forward thinking attacking team. But that coach has only played with a defensive midfielder ever since he joined the team, so I don't expect much of a change.
So
But-
so what I heard today, they were talking about the projective, I guess, by what they saw training.
Right.
So it shows that Nunes would be on the left, Cancelo on the right. It shows Pep and who was the other guy?
Nunez,
Pep,
Nunez, or not Nunez,
Ruben
Diaz.
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 Diaz, yes, and Diaz
Yeah.
in the middle has William Carvalho with Ruben Neves, and then you got Bernardo on the right, Bruno and Rafael Leão and Ronaldo up front. So that's
Yeah.
what they projected off what they saw at practice today.
Yeah, probably going to be like that. I would, and then we'll see because there's 5 substitutes though as well. That also helps change stuff up because you have 5 substitutes. So that obviously can help change things up in the second half, or if you want to go more forward or what have you. So we'll see what happens. But
the defense better be on their toes because these guys are coming is to run.
they're fast.
They run.
And Germany found that out today. What the problem with Germany was Japan started shooting over the top balls, and they couldn't stay with Japan's forwards. They started running by Germany's defense.
Germany should have put that game out of hand in the first half. They were all over them in the first half.
The goalie was excellent.
Yeah, like that game could have been already 3-0, 4-0 at halftime for Germany.
But that's what happens when you don't put a team away. It happened with Argentina. It happened with Germany. So you got to put teams away. So if Portugal goes up 1-0, I wouldn't go into a shell. I would try to get that second goal, but we will see what happens. There's always upsets in the World Cup, which is why I picked upsets, guys, because there's going to be upsets. I think Iran got destroyed. I think I have South Korea as my last upset. So we'll see if they can get by Uruguay. Iran. Okay, Iran. All right, you happy? All right. Listen, you're going to talk tomorrow during the show, okay? All right. My wife will be on the show tomorrow. And she'll give her 2 cents. She's gonna watch the game and let us know what she thinks. I can see the guy smiling already. So yeah, she's gonna talk about Ronaldo. Who we didn't talk about that much. He was finally terminated by mutual consent, so he'll be a free agent and be free to go where he wants to go. So that's good news for him. He got what he wanted. We'll talk more about that later. But that's what's bothering us this week. It is bothering me that I won't see Jose's ugly mug at the game, so I'll have to look at Gil the whole game to get a smile on my face, and we'll have to make sure that we give the blue ballers blue balls. But until tomorrow, when we review the first week of the World Cup, I'm the mouth of North, Andrew Reese. That is Gil Santos, and that is Jose Carlos Gomes. We will see you tomorrow on the Reese Report.